Hi boys and girls, so I'm going to do topic 2 review. Okay, so this is everything that we have learned last week and part of this week. So the first one says Daria's book has 323 pages. She has read 141 pages. Use the diagram below to find the number of pages P she has left to read. Okay, so all of these on the review are going to be word problems. So we really need to start using cubes. So the first thing we do in cubes is we circle our important numbers. So we have 323, 144. Next thing we do is underline our question. So over here, it doesn't have a question. It just says, use the diagram below to find the number of pages P she has left to read. Okay, and then we're going to box in our keywords. So we're going to use this diagram to find, and we're trying to find pages P she has left to read, okay? So our keyword, we're looking for this P right here. We're looking for what number goes in this box. Our keyword is left. Left usually can tell us that we're going to subtract. Another clue is whenever you have a diagram like this, and if you have one number outside and another number inside the box, that is a major, major clue that you are going to subtract in this problem. Okay, so I'm going to subtract these two numbers. Remember, our number on our biggest number goes on top. I'm going to make my PVC chart just because I don't want to make sure, I want to make sure that my numbers are aligned. And both my numbers go up to the hundreds place. So I have 100, tens, ones, and I'm going to just plug my numbers in. So 323, 141, and now I'm going to subtract. 3 minus 1 is 2. I cannot do 2 minus 4. Take away from the 3, it becomes a 2. The 2 now becomes a 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. 2 minus 1 is 1. So my answer is 182. Okay. Number 2, it says David went to a shopping goods store with $4 and bought a fishing lure for $2.39, including the tax. How much money did David have left after his purchase? So again, we're going to do cubes. Circle my important numbers, or my important decimals. $4, $2.39, and then I'm going to underline my question. How much money did David have left after his purchase? And now I'm going to box in my keywords. So it's saying including the tax. This $2.39 includes the tax. And it says, how much money did David have left? Again, we see that keyword left. That's going to tell us that we're going to subtract. Okay, so I'm going to make my place value chart so my numbers are aligned. If I look here, these are decimals. These decimals go up to the ones place. Okay, so I'm going to start with my ones. Then I have my decimal. They both have a decimal here. And then I'm going to go to my decimals. So I have tenths. And then I have hundredths. So now I can plug them in. So when I'm subtracting, remember the biggest number, biggest decimal, which is $4, goes on top. So I have $4. And then we have $2.39. And I'm subtracting. Okay, here's my little subtraction symbol. So now I can start. I cannot do 0 minus 9. I cannot borrow from the other 0. I gotta borrow from the 4. It becomes a 3. My 0 now becomes a 10. But now I have to give this 0 something. So this 0 is going to become a 9. This 10 is going to become a 9, I'm sorry. And this 0 can now become a 10. So 10 minus 9, 1. 9 minus 3 is 6. Drop my decimal. 3 minus 2 is 1. So now I have $1.61. That was what David was left with. B. Okay. 3 says Manuel has 60 minutes to get to karate class. He takes 27 minutes to get to the class and 10 minutes to change into his uniform. How much time does he have before he must leave his house? So lots of numbers here. We're going to do my cubes, circle my important numbers, 60, 27, 10, underline my question. How much time does he have before he must leave his house? Okay, and box in my keywords. They want to know how much time does he have before he must leave his house. So they're looking for this missing number right here, the question mark. Okay. Again, if you have a diagram like this, you have one number outside the box and you have another number inside the box, even if it's two numbers inside the box, you are going to subtract. Okay, so I'm going to subtract in this problem. There's two ways we can do this. I'm going to do it one way right now. So I'm going to subtract. If you notice, all my numbers are they go up to the tens place. So I'm going to make my place value chart going up to the tens place. So I have tens, ones, okay? And my biggest number goes on top. So first I'm going to subtract 60 minus 27. Okay, so 60 minus 27. I cannot do 0 minus 7. Take away from the 6. It becomes a 5. The 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. So now I get 33. So now I'm gonna do my PVC chart again. I have my tens. I have my ones because I'm going to subtract again. So I did 60 minus 27. So now I'm going to do what I got, my difference, 33. And I'm going to subtract that by my number that's left, 10. So 3 minus 0 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So this is my final answer. 23. He has 23 minutes left before he can leave. Number 4 says, to advertise for the school fun fair, 325 flyers were printed on Wednesday, 486 flyers were printed on Thursday, and 815 flyers were printed on Friday. How many flyers were printed in all? Okay, so I'm going to do my cubes. I have 325, 468, 815. My question's asking how many flyers were printed in all. My keywords, in all. I know I'm going to add all these numbers. So if I look at my numbers, they all go to the hundreds place. So that means when I make my PVC chart, it's going to go to the hundreds. So I have ones, tens, hundreds, and I'm just going to put them in. So 325, 468, 815, and let me make my lines going across. And now I'm going to add. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Carry my 1, drop my 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, carry my 1, drop my 0, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So put my 16 here. And if you notice, I'm going to have to make another place value because my 1 in the 16 goes to the thousands. So now this is my new number, 1,608. Okay. Number 5 says, a musical group made 8,000 copies of a CD so far. So far, they have sold 6,280 copies. How many copies are left? So do my cubes. They have 8,000 copies. They sold 6,280 copies. My question, how many copies are left? My key words are sold and left. I'm going to subtract. So again, I'm going to make my PVC chart. My numbers go up to the thousands. So I have my ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Okay, so I'm going to plug them in there. I have 8,000. And then I have 6,280. And now I can subtract. I cannot do 0 minus 0. Yes, I can do 0 minus 0, 0. I cannot do 0 minus 8. And I cannot take away from the other 0. So I take away from the 8. It becomes a 7. This 0 becomes a 10. But then I got to make this 0 also a 10. So this 0 goes to a 9 now. 10 minus 8, 2. 9 minus 2, 7. Bring down my comma. 7 minus 6 is 1. This is my answer, 1,720. Number 6, in April, 5,326 books were checked out of the library. In May, 3,294 books were checked out. How many books were checked out in all? So we'll do my cubes, circle my important numbers, underline my question, how many books were checked out in all, box in my keywords. In all tells me I'm going to add. So again, I'm going to make my PVC chart. My numbers go to the thousands. So I'm going to make it to the thousands. I have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. And I plug my numbers in. So I have 5,326. And then I have 3,294. And I'm going to add these numbers. So 6 plus 4 is 10. Bring my 1 up. Drop my 0. 9, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Bring up my 1. Drop my 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 5, 6, 7, 8. And I forgot to drop my comma. So it's 8,620. Okay, next page, number 7, it says Joe got 34,867 points playing a video game, and Carlos got 29,978 points. How many more points did Joe get than Carlos? So do my cubes again, circle my important numbers, highlight my question. How many points did Joe get than Carlos? My key words, how many more, and then. If it says how many more, if it says then, if it's comparing two people, two things, Joe and Carlos, you're going to subtract. So again, I'm going to make my PVC chart. my numbers go up to the 10,000s. So I'm going to make it to the 10,000s. So I have my ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and then I have my 10,000. And you just plug my numbers in. So remember, when you're subtracting, biggest number goes on top. So 34,867. And we're subtracting this by 29,978. I cannot do 7 minus 8, take away from the 6. It becomes a 5. The 7 becomes a 17. 17 minus 8 is 9. I cannot do 8. I cannot do 5 minus 7, the 8. I'm going to take away from the 8, it's going to become a 7. The 5 will now become a 15. 15 minus 7 is 8. Again, I cannot do 7 minus 9. Take away from the 4, it becomes a 3. The 7 becomes a 17. 17 minus 9 is 9. Okay. Next, I cannot do 3 minus 9. I take away from the other 3. It becomes a 2. And this 3 becomes a 13. So 13 minus 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4. So I have my answer is 4, and 2 minus 2 is 0, so my answer is 4,989. Okay, next question. It says, Betty has 719 pennies in her piggy bank. If she gave her sister 239 pennies, how many pennies did Benny have left? So circle my important numbers, 719, 239. My question's asking how many pennies does she have left? Box in my keywords, left. Tells me I'm going to subtract. So my numbers go to the hundreds place, so I'm going to make my PVC chart to the hundreds. So I have my ones, tens, hundreds. Remember, when I'm subtracting, the bigger number goes on top. So 719 minus 239. 9 minus 9 is 0. I cannot do 1 minus 3. 7 becomes a 6. The 1 becomes an 11. 11 minus 3 is 8. And 6 minus 2 is 4. This is my answer, 480. Number 9 says, a penny has a mass of 2.5 grams. A quarter has a mass of 5.67 grams. What is the difference in their masses? So circle my number, my decimals for this problem is a 2.5, 5.67. Underline my question, what is the difference in their masses? My key word is difference. Difference tells me I'm going to subtract. So when I subtract, I need to make my PVC chart. My decimals go up to the ones place. So I have my ones, decimal, then I have my tenths, and then I have my hundredths. When I'm subtracting, the biggest decimal goes on top. So I have 5.67, and then I put my other decimal on the bottom, 2.5. Okay, keep in mind my decimals are aligned. The 5 has a friend, the 6 has a friend, the 7 does not, so I'm going to put a placeholder here. And now I can subtract. 7 minus 0 is 7. 6 minus 5 is 1. Drop my decimal. 5 minus 2 is 3. So my answer is 317. And last problem, 10, says, the table shows a number of tickets sold for the school play. What is the best estimate of the total tickets sold? So they want to know best estimate total tickets sold. Best estimate tells me I'm going to round. Total tells me I'm going to add. So I'm going to round and add. So let me start rounding these numbers. They're not telling me where to round, so I'm going to just round to the nearest left. So the 3 is my baby, the 2 is my baby, the other 3 is my baby. That means the 2 is my mom, this 8 is my mom, and this 7 is my mom. So now if I round them, 320 will become 300, because since my mom is 4 or less, baby will stay the same. 282 will become 300. Okay, because my mom is 5 or more, baby will round to a 3. My 375 will become a 400, because since my mom is 5 or more, baby's going to round to a 4. So now I can add my numbers. They all go to the hundreds place, so my PVC chart's going to go to the hundreds. So I have ones, tens, hundreds, and I'm going to plug them in. So 300, 300 again, and 400, and I'm going to add. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have an extra number, so that means I'm going to have an extra place value, the thousands, and my answer is 1,000. Okay, and that is the review. Just a reminder, boys and girls, when you're adding, subtracting, please do your PVC chart so your numbers are aligned.